Ever feel like you are working tirelessly, week after week, month after month, year after year, yet your bank account never truly reflects all that persistent effort? You are certainly not alone in experiencing this frustration. It is a pervasive modern dilemma, a nagging sense that despite your relentless dedication and long hours, genuine financial progress remains perpetually out of reach. Many of us find ourselves trapped on an unyielding treadmill, constantly striving for more, but never quite managing to get ahead financially. We might even observe our income climbing steadily, only to discover our expenses mysteriously inflate right alongside it. This seemingly endless cycle often leaves people questioning, is there truly a more effective method to manage my finances and cultivate lasting prosperity? The fundamental truth is this: the actual pathway to building substantial wealth isn't solely determined by the size of your paycheck. It is, more critically, about how wisely you handle the financial resources you already possess. It demands a deliberate shift in your perspective, moving from merely earning a salary to strategically accumulating valuable assets that actively generate income for you. Today, we're going to delve into some remarkably potent principles that can empower anyone to grasp how to get rich, enabling a definitive break from the daily grind and leading toward a genuinely abundant and secure future. Let's pinpoint a phenomenon often referred to as the rat race. This isn't merely a catchy, evocative phrase. It represents a very real, insidious financial predicament. Visualize a hamster tirelessly running on its wheel. It expends immense energy, runs continuously, but fundamentally, it remains in the same spot. That vividly describes the feeling of being ensnared in the rat race for countless individuals. Their earnings grow, which logically should be excellent news, right? Yet, instead of directing that increased financial capacity toward strengthening their economic position, they almost immediately escalate their spending. A fatter paycheck frequently translates into purchasing a more luxurious car, moving into a larger, more expensive house, acquiring the newest high-tech gadgets, or indulging in more frequent opulent vacations. They mistakenly begin to associate these acquisitions with being rich or having finally achieved success. But in a stark financial reality, they are merely upgrading their liabilities, items that deplete money rather than building true assets, things that generate wealth. This pattern, known as lifestyle inflation, dictates that as soon as additional money arrives, an equivalent or even greater amount simultaneously flows out. You might project an image of success outwardly, perhaps driving a brand new vehicle or residing in an expensive home, but internally your bank account could be precariously balanced, or worse, you might be sinking deeper into accumulated debt. This creates an unending loop of needing to work harder and harder just to sustain an increasingly costly way of life, rather than liberating yourself from financial dependency. It is a relentless pursuit of more, without ever truly advancing your net worth. To genuinely unravel how to get rich, we must first acutely recognize and then resolutely choose to exit this financially unsustainable cycle. The initial pivotal step to liberating yourself from this pervasive trap and commencing your personal journey to become rich is rooted in a concept that is deceptively straightforward, yet immensely powerful: consistently expending less money than you actually bring in. This isn't advocating for an existence of extreme austerity or deprivation. Rather, it's about exercising thoughtful, intelligent discretion with your financial choices. Instead of impulsively rushing to acquire the very latest model of every consumer item, pause to consider whether your current possessions still adequately fulfill their intended purpose. Do you genuinely require the newest smartphone release every single year, or does your existing device function perfectly well for your needs? Rather than securing a loan for a brand new automobile, which immediately sheds a significant portion of its value the instant it leaves a dealership, perhaps a dependable, meticulously maintained used vehicle presents a far more sensible financial alternative. Reflect on your housing situation Is incurring the largest possible mortgage absolutely essential, or could a comfortable, more affordable residence free up substantial capital for critical savings and strategic investments? This fundamental principle demands a conscious, unwavering effort to resist the constant societal pressures that often dictate what we feel we should own or aspire to. It's primarily about prioritizing your long-term financial stability over fleeting immediate gratification or the societal impulse to emulate the spending habits of others. By consistently generating a surplus each and every month, meaning money remains after all your necessary expenditures are covered, you establish the absolutely essential foundation for authentic wealth creation. This surplus isn't merely residual cash, it represents your dedicated financial freedom fund, poised and ready to be intelligently deployed and put to work for your future. Now, let's meticulously clarify a foundational distinction that genuinely wealthy individuals inherently grasp: the crucial difference between an asset and a liability. This precise understanding is undeniably central to getting rich sustainably. In remarkably plain terms, an asset is fundamentally something that consistently places money into your pocket. It actively generates income streams for you, or its intrinsic value steadily increases over time. Consider examples such as a well-managed rental property that reliably produces monthly rent payments, shares in a consistently profitable corporation that distribute dividends or appreciate in market value, a thriving business that you own, or even valuable intellectual property like a best-selling book or musical compositions that earn recurring royalties. These are items that are diligently working on your behalf, contributing to your financial growth. A liability, conversely, is something that invariably extracts money from your pocket. It costs you capital simply to possess it, and its market value very frequently diminishes significantly. Your personal residence, while it may appreciate over many years in a good market, often functions primarily as a liability because of the ongoing property taxes, insurance premiums, essential maintenance costs, and persistent mortgage payments that continuously drain your funds. Your car, especially one acquired through financing, serves as a quintessential liability. It depreciates rapidly and demands recurring expenditure each month for fuel, insurance, and routine upkeep. The most prevalent error people commit is purchasing liabilities, mistakenly believing them to be assets. They invest in expensive luxury consumer goods or cutting-edge gadgets, laboring under the illusion they are building wealth, when in actual fact, they are simply amplifying their monthly financial outflows. The genuine pathway to become rich involves the strategic acquisition of income-generating assets and the rigorous minimization of depreciating liabilities. It's about methodically constructing a robust portfolio of items that actively compensate you rather than a collection of possessions for which you are perpetually compelled to pay. This subsequent habit is nothing short of transformative for anyone who is truly earnest about understanding how to get rich, the unwavering practice of paying yourself first. What precisely does this essential principle entail? It signifies that the very instant your paycheck is deposited into your bank account, even before you address your monthly bills, before you purchase groceries, and most certainly prior to any discretionary spending, you immediately transfer a predetermined fixed portion of that income into a dedicated savings or investment account. The vast majority of people inadvertently pay everyone else first: their landlord, the utility provider, the automobile financing company, the credit card issuer, the grocery store. Whatever minuscule amount happens to remain, if anything at all, is then reluctantly allocated to savings. This conventional approach very rarely leads to substantial wealth accumulation. By consistently paying yourself first, you are unequivocally prioritizing your own financial future. You meticulously treat your savings and investments as absolutely non-negotiable financial obligations, just as fundamentally important as your rent or mortgage payment. This deceptively simple act completely reverses the traditional financial paradigm. Instead of fruitlessly attempting to save whatever scraps are left over, you proactively guarantee your financial expansion. Begin with a manageable percentage if necessary, perhaps starting at 10% of every paycheck, and then progressively increase this allocation as your income or financial comfort allows. This disciplined methodology ensures that a significant, consistent portion of your earnings is perpetually working towards the strategic construction of your assets, rather than being inadvertently absorbed by everyday expenses. It fundamentally ensures your hard-earned money isn't just idly sitting, but is actively and consistently contributing to your long-term prosperity. Unwavering consistency functions as the quiet, yet immensely powerful engine of true wealth creation. Attaining profound financial freedom is seldom the result of executing one singular, monumental, brilliant financial maneuver. Instead, it is the cumulative outcome of making a multitude of modest, intelligent financial decisions, applied with unwavering consistency over extended periods. This process inherently demands robust financial discipline. A particularly critical facet of this discipline involves meticulously avoiding high-interest debt, most notably pervasive credit card debt, which possesses the capacity to rapidly and severely erode any financial progress you painstakingly achieve. Pick the high-interest charges as a formidable opposing current relentlessly dragging your boat backward. You can exert immense effort paddling forward, but you will struggle to make any real headway. Instead, assiduously cultivate habits that actively reinforce your overarching financial objectives. An exceptionally effective method to implement this vital discipline is through the strategic use of automation. Configure automatic transfers from your primary checking account directly to your designated savings and investment accounts on each payday. Systematize the payment of all your routine bills. This strategic automation effectively bypasses the constant reliance on willpower and significantly mitigates the potential for human error or procrastination. When your investment contributions are fully automated, capital flows seamlessly into your wealth building vehicles without you needing to consciously think about it each time. Small, consistent, and automatically made contributions prove to be far more impactful and potent in the long run than sporadic, larger sums that might only materialize when you happen to remember or feel sufficiently motivated. This consistent, disciplined, and thoroughly automated financial approach ensures your capital is perpetually working for you steadily and reliably, thereby unequivocally paving your definitive path to getting rich. Once you have diligently embraced the practice of paying yourself first and have cultivated formidable financial discipline, the logical and exciting next stage on your journey to become rich involves actively constructing a portfolio of passive income assets. This is the pivotal point where your accumulated money truly begins to generate additional money for you, entirely independent of requiring your active day-to-day labor. Imagine the profound sensation of waking up each morning to discover that additional funds have seamlessly flowed into your accounts while you were peacefully sleeping. That precisely encapsulates the transformative power of passive income. Practical examples of such assets include judiciously investing in real estate to generate consistent rental income streams, strategically acquiring shares in consistently profitable corporations that reliably distribute dividends, conceiving and marketing digital products or valuable intellectual property like insightful ebooks or comprehensive online courses, or even owning a fractional share of a successful business where you are deliberately not involved in the intricate daily operations. The overarching objective here is to transmute the money you earn from your primary employment or active work into tangible entities that subsequently generate income entirely on their own accord. This intelligent strategy effectively liberates your valuable time and decisively detaches your income earning potential from your direct physical effort. Instead of the traditional model of trading your finite hours for dollars, you are now ingeniously trading your existing assets for dollars. This fundamental shift in approach is nothing short of monumental. It is precisely how genuinely wealthy individuals meticulously structure their financial lives, establishing multiple robust streams of income that are not solely dependent on their physical presence or the direct allocation of their time. This brings us to one of the most astonishingly powerful forces operating within the entire financial universe, the incredible principle of compound interest. Frequently lauded as the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest possesses the extraordinary capacity to allow your money to proliferate exponentially. Here is a clear explanation of its mechanism. When you initially invest a sum of money, it subsequently earns a return or profit. With the magic of compound interest, those newly generated earnings then proceed to earn their own returns. It is akin to observing a small snowball gently commencing its descent down a hillside. As it rolls, it continuously gathers more snow, growing progressively larger and accelerating in speed with each successive rotation. The longer your capital remains prudently invested, the more overwhelmingly potent this cumulative effect becomes. Even relatively modest yet unwavering monthly contributions, when allocated sufficient time, can burgeon into truly substantial sums. For instance, consistently investing a small fixed amount each month for several decades will ultimately yield a significantly greater accumulation of wealth than attempting to invest a much larger but infrequent sum or regrettably commencing your investment journey at a later stage in life. Time stands as your most invaluable ally when leveraging the immense power of compounding. The earlier you initiate the crucial habits of paying yourself first and diligently investing, the more abundant years your money has at its disposal to relentlessly multiply itself. This isn't some mystical enchantment. It is quite simply the elegant mathematics of growth consistently working unequivocally in your favor. Comprehending and adeptly harnessing compound interest is an absolutely indispensable cornerstone for anyone earnestly seeking how to get rich and establish robust, long-term financial security. The ultimate and deeply satisfying destination on this comprehensive wealth building expedition is the esteemed state of financial freedom. But what exactly does this profound concept genuinely signify? It denotes that pivotal juncture where the passive income reliably generated by your strategically acquired assets is fully adequate to comfortably cover all your essential living expenses. Imagine experiencing a life where you are no longer compelled to engage in salaried work solely for the purpose of settling your monthly bills. You are then afforded the genuine autonomy to choose to work if you derive pleasure or fulfillment from it, or to passionately pursue long-held hobbies, embark on extensive travels, dedicate time to meaningful volunteer endeavors, or simply enjoy tranquil relaxation, all with the comforting assurance that your fundamental needs are consistently met by your existing income-producing investments. This coveted state of being provides an unparalleled sense of inner peace, effectively eradicates pervasive financial stress, and bestows upon you ultimate mastery over your precious time and critical life choices. It isn't necessarily about accumulating billions of dollars. Rather, it is about possessing a sufficient stream of passive income to enable you to authentically live the life you deeply desire, entirely unburdened by reliance on a traditional job. This profound level of economic security stands as the justifiable reward for consistent financial discipline, intelligent monetary decisions, and unwavering patience. The demanding yet incredibly rewarding journey to financial freedom necessitates continuous self-education regarding fiscal matters, a judicious diversification of your investments to prudently spread risk, and an unshakable persistence even when market conditions inevitably fluctuate. It is undeniably a marathon, not a frantic sprint, but each meticulously calculated step taken toward the acquisition of income-generating assets brings you inexorably closer to that ultimately liberating finish line. This indeed represents the true and profound essence of how to get rich, not just fabricating an illusion of wealth, but genuinely achieving an authentic, unshakable state of financial liberation.